Hello everyone, welcome to my kitchen. My name is Michael and today I'm going to be sharing with you my cheesy grit, egg, and sausage casserole. You're not going to believe how fast this comes together and how delicious it is. Stay tuned and we'll show you how this is made. All right everyone, let's get started with our cheesy grit casserole, and we're going to start with the star of the show, which is the grits. And right now I have a pot on of water, and I've got 4 cups of water and 1 teaspoon of salt, and I have brought it to a rolling boil. So at this point we want to make sure that when you're adding your grits, you want to add them slowly and you want to keep stirring, because if you don't, you're going to have a lumpy mess on your hands. So we're going to start slowly by adding our grits, and we're going to use a whisk, and we're going to continue to whisk this as we add our grits into the pot. All right, I've got all of my grits in the pot now, and we're going to now continue to stir these. We're going to bring it right back up to a boil again. And once it gets back to a boil again, we're going to turn it down on low, and we're going to put a lid on it, and we're going to continue to cook these for about 5 to 6 minutes. And we're going to come back and stir them on occasion. You don't want to not keep a watch on them, because if you don't, again, you'll have a lumpy mess on your hand, and nobody wants lumpy grits. I am using yellow grits today, but you can use any grits that you have on hand. You can use the stone ground or the white grits, but I have yellow grits here, and I have brought my grits back up to a boil again. I'm going to turn my stove down on low. And we're going to let that continue to cook. I'm going to put a lid on it, and while that's cooking, I'm going to cook my sausage, because it's going to be an integral part of our casserole dish this morning. So we will check back here in the next few minutes and see how our grits are doing, and I'll be back in just a second. All right, we're back. It's been about a minute. I'm going to check on my grits just to make sure how we're doing. We're going to give them another stir, because don't want them sticking to the bottom or clumping up on me. So continue to keep a watch on these for about 5 or 6 minutes. All right, it's been about another minute. I want to come back and check on my grits, and we're going to continue to stir these. They are getting a little bit thicker, which is a good sign. That's what we want to see. And we don't have any lumps in those. Those are cooking pretty good. So we'll put the lid back on them and check on them in about another minute. All right, it's been about another minute. Let's come back and check on our grits again and continue to stir them. They're coming along nicely. They are almost done, so just another minute or so and we should be ready to add our cheese and butter. All right, let's check on our grits one more time and see how we're doing. These are done. All right, so I'm going to turn these off. And now we're going to add our butter. And I have 1 stick of unsalted butter that we're going to add to the combination. And I've got 1.5 cups of grated cheddar cheese. You can use any kind of cheese that you like. I have this on hand. This is a sharp cheddar cheese. I'm going to give this butter a little stir, so let's go ahead and get started melting into our combination. And now we're going to slowly add our cheese into our mixture. I'm going to make sure we get all of that in there. And we're going to give that a good stir. All right, that is all incorporated, and I will take you back, and we will now add this to our casserole dish, and I'll show you what happens next. We are ready now to put our ingredients together to make our casserole. So I have 2 eggs that I have beaten, and I've got them in this bowl here. I have cooked 6 pieces of sausage that we're going to incorporate into our casserole as well. And I've got my cheesy grits here that you saw me make earlier, and I'm going to go ahead and give these another stir, just to make sure that the butter and everything that was melting is all incorporated in there. So that looks good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add just a little bit of the grits into our eggs. And while we're doing that, we want to give this, make sure we're giving this a good stir. We want to add about a cup of it. That will start to cook those eggs, because you know when you start putting any heat in these things, it's going to start cooking them. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add this back to this mixture. We're going to give that a good stir and mix that all in really good. Now we're going to put it in our casserole dish. So we're going to get our sausage and we're going to line the bottom of the dish so that when we cut these, everybody gets a piece of sausage, gets a good little bite. All right, so you can see that I've got my sausage in the bottom of the pan, and now we're going to add our grit mixture to the top. All right. And we have put that into an 8x8 dish that I have greased. I've used some shortening in the bottom of it, and I greased the whole side of the pan and the bottom of it. And you can see now what we've got here. I'm going to put this in my preheated 325-degree oven, and we'll cook this for about 25 to 30 minutes. Everybody's oven cooks a little bit different, so keep a watch on it to make sure that it's looking like it is cooking and not overcooked. So we will check back here in about 25 to 30 minutes. All right, see you in a few. We are back, and you can see I have my casserole dish here ready to be cut and eat. It did take 30 minutes in the oven at 325. Again, check your oven because different ovens cook at different temperatures. So 30 minutes at 325 for mine. So we're going to cut into this and give it a try. This looks really good. So let's give it a try and see how it is. And you can see I've got my little sausage here on the bottom as a little surprise. That is really good. Cheesy, a little surprise with the sausage on the bottom with the eggs in it. You're going to love this recipe. If this is your first time here today and you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would appreciate it if you would hit the subscribe button at the bottom, ring the bell for further notifications of any videos coming out in the future, and enjoy my cheesy eggs, grits, and sausage casserole. Thanks. Have a good one.